Oh, hey. Didn't see you there. I always wanted to say that in an intro. Hi, welcome back in all seriousness to Monsterhearts sophomore year. That's right, we were gone for a summer. And this is kind of as close to real time as it can get in the Monsterhearts universe. So we are starting out. Freshman year is done. We have grown up, we have leveled up, and we are coming back. Still in the same world, still with the same characters, starting off in the fall of sophomore year. I guess the beginning of sophomore year. But before we get started, business at the top, party in the back, as JMO likes to say. There will be no campaign 3 this Sunday, so either catch up on last session or watch any cute little other campaigns, especially the last Strahd session. And then, speaking of Strahd, after the last Candlekeep session for level 6 on Monday the 2nd, Labor Day, we're going to celebrate that way. Tune in on next Thursday, this time next week, for the continuation of Strahd. 10 years later, maybe? Was that a spoiler?
Nope, that's good. That's a good
that was in public
teaser.
Knowledge. As I was saying it, I was like, ooh, probably should have checked that.
You heard it here first.
You heard it here first. That's some subscriber-only content. So subscribe, and you'll keep
some players hearing it here first.
Some players hearing it first. Oh, there you go. So that is what's coming up. Without further ado, let's get right into it. As a reminder to the players, and also to you, make each main character's life not boring. Keep the story feral. Say what the rules demand, and say what honesty demands. Welcome to Monsterhearts sophomore year. What could have been a totally normal and utterly boring freshman year of high school turned into a life-changing series of events. Steve Taylor, played by Zach Tabor, lost his father before the school year started, discovered magical powers with a mysterious book that brought some of his more wicked desires forward. Vernon Jasper, played by Matt Schwartzwalder, found himself living in the guest house of the family friends of his dead parents, where he met their daughter Cora. Onyx Smith, played by Jenn Geiger, took out her anger on the wrestling team, trying to control some of her more wolfish impulses. And new girl Josie Betteker, played by Sophie Pantale, haunted her way to the hearts of some new friends who soon realized that her mysterious death might have been connected to the absolute ape-shittery that was about to befall them. After the first day of school, Onyx, Steve, Vernon, Josie, and Steve's best friend Ronnie Marks agreed to meet in the cemetery forest for some forming of new traditions. Onyx and Vernon mysteriously didn't show up, but the crew, along with new friends Josh and Dustin, and Josie's sneaky little brother Duffy, set into motion some of the darker secrets of the Angelwood neighborhood in the city of Keynes, Oregon. Ronnie Marks disappeared after that night in the woods, prompting the group to learn of werewolves, hollows, and a magic shadow the group could only identify as Mother, who sadly took Ronnie's life and turned Josie's brother into a hollow servant. On the plus side, Steve's dad returned from a mysterious vacation and or sickness. Onyx's sister Alaska was suddenly compelled to visit a home on the other side of town that led them to information about their family. And Vernon's on-again, off-again, on-again, off-again situationship with the now immortal Cora was bringing a peace to Vernon that he hadn't experienced in a long time. Despite amateur investigation, interpersonal dynamic is always bound to disrupt the life of a teenager. And the summer break was always going to come with a few distractions of their own. And so on this night, before the first day of your sophomore year, you all find yourselves tucked comfortably into a mostly familiar place to all of you once you let the summer settle on you. Tucked into Steve Taylor's basement, playing a session of Dungeons and Dragons in the campaign that Steve has adamantly tried to keep going all summer. Onyx was gone. Josie's been kind of all over the place. Vernon, oddly, has probably been the most consistent person to show up, despite his little summer vacation. And you all sit around the table, eagerly listening to the scene that Steve is setting. Do you want to set the scene, Steve? Do you? I know you as a DM might love to do this.
Wow. Okay, yeah, for sure.
On his day off?
On his day off? Hey, do you want to DM this session that I'm GMing?
And the rest of the session is us playing D&D, so...
Yeah.
Here we go. Yeah, I think that's amazing. I think that Steve is really in his element here, especially because everybody's here, and that's rare. And so those are the sessions where the energy's really flowing and everything's great. So I think he's getting really into it. Yeah, I think that Steve says, okay. And as you and the rest of the party enter the mansion of Sir Eckhart, you have one goal in mind. You must find out who is coming for the Duchess's life. She's hired you because she knows that your group is capable. Your deeds have been spread throughout the land of Narcadia. And the Duchess is paying quite handsomely for the capture alive of her would-be assassin. So you enter this mansion disguised as partygoers for the masquerade ball. And it is on you to find this secret culprit. To capture them without causing a scene, and to bring them to the Duchess's study, where your reward will be waiting. And he just kind of like leans back.
I hide.
You always do that. Your friend Scotty, who was ever so absent last year for so much of your time together, but who is now eagerly sitting on one side of you. If you'll be so kind to allow me to label potentially your boyfriend Dustin,
Yes,
sits
of course.
on the other side of you, absolutely just like eyes full. You can tell the back of his head is just racing with like, what is he gonna do? He's strategizing, he's in it. Scotty turns to you, Vernon. You always do that. You always say you hide. Like, I don't care that you're a rogue. You can do other things but hide.
But if I'm in the shadows, people won't know where I am, and I can spy on them.
But like,
Okay,
how are you?
Can somebody, like, be willing to go, I don't know, start a fight? Because I'm, like, really weak and can never do anything.
Dustin puts his hands on his mouth and says, It's not weakness. You're a spellcaster.
Okay.
Yeah,
You have
no,
to
you're like
cast spells.
You're
Can
like
I
super
inspire
strong.
someone to, like, go beat someone up?
Yes, you can do that. That's what you should be doing.
Oh,
Okay.
give me inspiration.
Okay.
Yeah, you can give Josie's character inspiration. You could also cast Crown of Madness on someone if you want them to just kind of lash out at someone.
Yeah, make people do your bidding.
I do that on
so powerful.
my friends or my enemies.
Crown of Madness would be something you did on your enemies. Yeah. Inspiration would be something you did on your friends.
Well, if you say so.
Hey, the one thing about D&D, Onyx, is that it's whatever you want it to be.
Well, Josie, how about I inspire you? What are you gonna do?
Oh yeah. Oh cool. No, so I take the inspiration. Thank you so much. And I go up to the Duchess and I tell her, the best way to keep you safe would be to stay close to you.
Ooh.
Very close.
Josie!
Oh my god.
A visionary.
Right. All right, roll. Well, you got to roll a persuasion check in for that.
Yeah, no. I mean, which die was that one?
That's the D20, so the ball-looking one.
Yeah.
And then you'll add whatever it says next to persuasion. It's okay. Session 14. It's okay.
Hey. Look, I've been really busy this summer, you guys.
No. I'm just messing. I'm kidding. And then you'll add a D. I think at this level D8 for Onyx's inspiration.
Does a 22 hit?
Well, you're not attacking. Right? Are you attacking?
I mean, like with
your pelvis.
Your arm.
Yeah.
Yes, of course. No, 22 does hit her right in the heart bone, and she looks to you, and she says, "Oi!" Steve's not good at accents.
Nothing could have prepared me.
Nothing, not a whole summer.
Thanks for the proposition, love. You know what? I think you're right. Let's go upstairs and fuck.
Whoa! Fucking right away. Oh my god.
Is that weird? Is that weird?
No.
You can do that?
No. I'm super comfortable.
Onyx, of course you can. That's all Scotty does. All Scotty does is fuck everybody in this game.
I follow in the shadows.
I don't follow.
Okay. All right. So,
I'm not following.
That means we're splitting the party.
And Steve,
That's a good thing, right?
as you start to continue to guide this journey, and are sitting back, kind of watching your friends, and just filled with absolute love for the fact that finally, even though it took you all summer, that they're all together playing this game. You don't care how many times you have to explain to Josie what a D20 is. You find yourself floating back to a memory of a few weeks ago. It's, over halfway through the summer. You've been hanging out with your parents, you've been hanging out with your friends. Every so often you're texting and checking your texts for text maybe from Josie, who has been a little bit absent from your group this summer, and you kind of have started to notice a little bit. And you are headed into Robbie's bodega. It's not school, but you want that bacon, egg, and cheese just as much. And one morning you find yourself walking in, and you see boisterous voice and presence of Robbie, who I don't really remember what he sounded like, but we're just gonna go with, "Hey, Steve, what's up, my guy?"
Hey, Robbie, how you doing this morning?
Robbie, this is like, what, your 4th or 5th time this week? You love the egg and cheese?
Yeah, well, I've been working out. I gotta bulk up,
You're looking good. You're looking good, Mr. Taylor. You're
Thank
looking,
you, thank
and he like
you.
pinches you on the cheek. I can't grab anything. There's nothing
Yeah.
there anymore.
Yeah, and you would see that, Steve has lost some of the baby fat, thinned out a bit over this summer because he's been working out and taking care of his body a little bit more. But he's still a teenager, so it's not with food. He's eating whatever he wants, but just working out. And he's got a little bit shorter hair, but the same glasses and same hoodie, and maybe a bit more of a confident demeanor about him. And he looks to Robbie and he says, "Yeah, so just one. That'll be good."
Are you sure you don't want two for the road?
I'm good.
A lot of protein in here.
I know.
Give one to Dad. How's he doing?
Yeah, no, he's doing good. Yeah, he's
good. It's good to see him. I miss that man. He was gone and now he's back and just like old times, huh?
And you see that Steve kind of zones out for just a second too long, and then he kind of shakes his head. Yep.
Whoa.
Yeah, good to have him back.
Whoa, man, you sure you don't need two? You look a little dizzy there.
You know what? I will take it. Yeah, I will take another one for
Hey,
Dad. Yeah.
You know what? On the house.
Oh, Robbie,
and he wraps up another.
Thank
He
you.
puts two in one wrapper and
Okay, all right. And I take it. Thanks a lot, Robbie. I appreciate it.
Well, keep in touch. I know you're starting sophomore year, so you're gonna be big bad upperclassman almost. Don't forget old Robbie, okay?
No, don't you worry about it. I'm still gonna want a bacon, egg, and cheese until the end of time, really.
I hope that's true. I love you, buddy. And you see, he gets a little choked up.
Oh yeah, no.
And he goes back behind, leaves you out there.
Love you too. Let's just walk out. And I think that I would walk out, and I kind of just pause for a second. And I think that over the summer, if you'll allow, Angie,
Yeah.
because at the end of freshman year, Steve fully fell victim to whatever spell or trickery or illusion had him believing that his dad was just gone and not dead. But I do think that over the summer, there's been moments where Steve kind of shorts out or glitches a little bit, or where the two realities kind of contradict. And those usually manifest in him kind of zoning out for a second, or kind of repeating words, or kind of being confused. And it never lasts very long, but there's just moments where he kind of glitches and the realities collide and contradict each other. Yeah. And I think it kind of happens really anytime that time that his dad was gone is brought up. And so he's standing outside and he kind of thinks about it again, and he just kind of shakes his head and takes a deep breath. And he gets out his phone and he puts the bacon, egg, and cheese bagels under his arm. He's texting. And he goes to a conversation that is one-sided. A lot of unanswered text messages. There's a lot of blue messages, and then the last few recent ones have been green. And he goes to text and he says, "Hey Ronnie, school's about to start again soon. Honestly, just excited to have a routine again, I guess. It's gonna be weird not having you there. The gang and I have been kind of separating a little bit. But hopefully, maybe seeing each other at school will bring us back together. Your dad's doing okay. We still don't talk much after what happened. But I think maybe he's forgiven me or in the process of forgiving me. I'm not sure. Josie, she's... Weirdly, she's living a lot, which I think is good for her. Onyx has been dealing with a lot, and I haven't seen her a lot, but we're still pretty solid, and that feels good. I haven't gotten sick of Vernon, which is a surprise to me, but he's actually pretty okay. Still feels like something's wrong. And it's not just that you're gone. I just still have that weird feeling in my stomach, and nothing ever seems to make it go away. I haven't done my magic in a while. Starting to wonder if I'm missing it. Need to do it again. I don't know. Anyway, love you. Talk to you later. And he sends that message. And this time, instead of it just being green, it's green, and then there's a little red exclamation point that can't be delivered. And that kind of shakes him a little bit, and he sighs, and he puts his phone away, and he heads back to his house.
You kind of come to in the middle of an argument between Dustin and Scotty over is it best to approach stealth or go full combat into this trial that you've set up.
Yeah.
And you feel kind of that pit in your stomach that you feel when you have those zone out moments. And for a second, you are wondering if something's wrong, if a message is trying to get through to you. You see Josie on the other side of the table from you, as happy as you've ever seen her since you've met her. And though she is still pale and ghostly, you're absolutely right. She feels alive in a way that she hasn't before. And you see Onyx, who has been, you know, your best friend and your closest source of comfort through all that you guys endured freshman year. And you see Vernon, who it took a little bit to get there, but eventually he has become a solid ally. And the pit sort of dissolves in your stomach, and for the first time in a while, you trust your brain to tell you that you're safe. And across the table, looking dreamy and blissful, Josie. After the end of our last session in freshman year, you had convinced your parents, who wanted to move back to Portland, with the help of all the friends at the table around you, you convinced your parents to stay for one more year, at least one more year, to not be so dissuaded by this move, consumed by their grief over the loss of one child, not even knowing that they have in fact technically lost both children. kind of keeping that knowledge at bay for them, doing what you can to help alleviate any of their sadness. But ultimately, being a teenage girl who just wants to have fun and who met someone very, very cute and very into you at the end of last school year. You have been spending your summer kind of in the wild throes of a little summer romance. And as you are on the other side of the table, having gotten inspiration from your friend Onyx, who you've kind of learned to play this game with through the summer that you've managed to be able to come. And in a way, you kind of feel the inspiration in yourself flow over you. And what did you get up to this summer?
Josie got a little summer romance going and got a little obsessed over somebody, knowing full well that this person is leaving to go to college. Very, very sad, totally in denial and delusional about that, dreading that moment, but dreading it so intensely that they're just like not even thinking about it. We're not talking about it. We're not talking about the expiration date on this relationship. We are just here and living and getting very, very intense because we're dumb young idiots, and it's gay love, and no talking about it.
As you're kind of having all of this play out through your head, and just feeling the complete ecstasy that is feeling grounded for once in a long time, and you know, the delusional comfort that comes with that, you remember hanging out with Tori Sumner last night, and she drives,
of course, and
you two went to a movie, got ice cream in the pavilion, kind of where you all had, if you recall last year, the arts festival. In the summer, big bash, lots of farmers markets, lots of little events that go on throughout the park. Not to mention, you know, all of the food trucks that are trying to mark their territory outside of Portland proper. And so you get ice cream, you sit by the fountain, every so often exchanging kisses and holding hands and just being utterly disgusting to any adults that pass through, who sadly wish that they could still indulge in romance like this. And as you are walking back to Tori's car for her to take you home, as it has been so every time you've seen each other, she kind of stops you and says, I just have to say one thing. And I know you're gonna hate me, I know you're gonna roll your eyes, I know that you're gonna I don't even like want to say it.
Come on, no, say it. Don't be
I wish that I would have met you like 3 months sooner, 4 months sooner, 5 months sooner. I wish I would have met you sooner so that I could have applied to a college that wasn't so fucking far away. Why do I need to go to Boston? What is in Boston?
No, You do have to go though. Like, you can't stay here just for me. Like, but I will. I wish you could. I wish I had met you sooner. Just,
What if we didn't break up? What if we tried?
I would try.
Is
I would
that
try.
stupid?
I would
Is
try.
that stupid?
No, I would try really hard for you.
But what does that even mean, Josie?
I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. I like you a lot, and like, I don't like, you're good, and I feel like we're good, and like, it just sucks that like you're gonna be so far away, and like, this summer has been so amazing, and I feel so alive around you. And I don't want to let go of that. And I know it's dumb, but like, people do dumb things all the time.
God, you're so fucking cute.
You're cute. You're hot. God. Oh.
And she'll pull you in and she'll kiss you.
Like, this is really good. And I just,
You would try? Then let's fucking do it.
yeah.
Let's fucking try.
Yeah, let's try. That makes me really happy.
Okay, I have to take you home now though, or your dad is gonna kill me, and then
God,
it's not gonna be, I mean, it'll be worth it, but like,
it's just
you know,
so
at what
fucking
cost?
like embarrassing to have like a bedtime.
Listen, my mom is like, you're not even 18 yet, so you have to be home at curfew, and you're not in college now, and blah blah blah. So I have a curfew too. It's a little bit later than yours, but also, and she kind of gets quiet, and you know that she's about to mention why your parents are a tighter hold on you than hers are, and she kind of pulls away a little bit.
I know that they just want me to be safe.
Yeah. It's not. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to.
No, you're right. It's smart. It makes sense. It's just fucking stupid.
Hey, Josie.
Yeah.
I think I love you.
I love you too.
Okay, you said that way too fast. Have you been sitting on that? Have you been sitting on that?
I mean, I just said I really, really like you. Like I've been sitting on it.
Then why did you say
because
it?
you're
idiot.
I don't know. I didn't want to be the first one.
But so you made me be.
I know. I'm sorry. God. I love you.
Jesus. Okay. Well. And she'll kiss you again. Okay, for real though. I gotta get you home. I gotta get home. Let's go. Roll out.
And I am like, I have to like stop myself from literally floating.
Yeah. I think that if you will allow, Sophie, is the vibe that carries you into this D&D session, is this exciting,
No, I'm like so
floaty-
excited to be around my friends and I'm riding a real high, but I am thinking about my girlfriend.
Yeah, my girlfriend. Okay, I'm sorry. I just have to mention, Jenn said this in the Discord, but so Josie's having a Sumner fling.
Yes.
And we are gonna cut away to that little piece of deliciousness. That all of you, like, whether or not you know exactly what's going on with Josie, you know that she has been seeing Tori a lot, and is not in an excessive way, but like is very much that new relationship energy. And you guys have probably heard about Tori and like the cute things that Tori does, and like even maybe at the beginning of the session that like Tori wants to try long distance. But you're all very happy for Josie as she starts this new path toward a sense of normalcy, and not really maybe knowing any of the underlying hardships that she has been going through this summer. But we'll cut away from that. And as you feel that inspiration, Josie, from Onyx's D8 now, because level 6 is crazy. Don't even try to get Steve to make you a level 7, because he won't do it. Vernon, for once in your life, you have found a little bit of stability in these friends and these people in this place. Your summer ended with a kind of wise bit of advice from Cora, or at least just her a little bit coming on to you. And then when you kind of friend zoned her, she accepted it. She's not in a rush. She's now immortal just like you, and wants to know what that is like. And as you're sitting with these friends, kind of contemplating how you have gotten to this point in your 81 years of existence, you feel a sense of thankfulness and a sense of ease, because earlier this summer, what did you do with your little vampire family?
Yes, so Vernon is feeling a little protective of Cora and her newfound abilities, because it's a big responsibility to be a vampire, and also the hardships that come with now being immortal and now living past your immediate family. And so I think he took it upon himself this summer to kind of guide Cora in the art of being a vampire. And of course, part of that is knowing your vampire history. So Vernon took Cora on a trip to Romania this summer, and went on like a commercial Dracula tour, and they watched a bunch of like vampire movies, and he spent the time to kind of laugh at the inaccuracies of pop culture renditions of how vampires are, but then there's some things that they kind of got right. So just trying to make sure that she understands the whole weight of what it means to be a vampire.
So at some point on the trek, you, funnily enough, whether it's by design or by happenstance, you run into your vampire sister, Lilith, who you kind of have been around these last 80 years. She was around by the time that you were turned, and has kind of just been a presence in your life. One of those consistent factors, if you are counting your consistencies. And she asks if she can join you. She comes along for a couple of the tours. As the person who turned Cora, feels also ultimately a sense of responsibility at not letting Cora be anything less than she is capable of. And the three of you have a fantastic time. You find yourself kind of hunkered down in a small little inn. And Matt, yes, I did make this roll 20 specifically for you. But you find yourself hunkered down on a nice summer evening. By now, you have made your way to I'm probably going to mispronounce it, but I literally based this on a small town in Lithuania called Need or Needy. I don't know how you say it, but
Cool,
and you know, your jaunt is coming to an end. You know you're going to have to go back to Angelwood soon. But you and Lilith are kind of drinking a cup of tea, having a lovely chat, just kind of sitting by candlelight in this little cozy inn. Cora is with you also, but she's in the other room.
Lilith, I don't know if I've ever asked you this, but is Cora the first person that you've ever turned?
I think this might be the first question about myself you've ever asked me, Vernon.
I'm sure I've asked other questions.
Oh, well, the feeling inside me indicates that this is the first, so I'm just gonna roll with it. This is the first person who's asked me to turn them. And I was put off at first. I said no. I don't think I was prepared to remember how it felt. Strangely.
You're not the type of person to say no normally. That surprises me.
Oh, well, thank you. I mean, she just... Look at her. She reminds me of me. And I'm much older than her now, but I wasn't much older than her when this happened to me, so...
Well, I've yet to turn someone myself, but I don't know. Never mind.
Well, is that... I don't want to ask if that's something you want, but I mean, it's nothing to... There's something that they don't talk about in these tours. And you might not really feel it, because I don't know if you know the person who turned you, or where that person is, or who that person is. But there's a connection that comes with the person who turned you. And I don't know what it is. I don't know how to explain it, but I lost that when Priscilla died. And now I have it back, it feels like, with Cora.
Interesting. Is that who turned you?
Well, yes. She was more of a mother to you, I guess, than she was to me, but to me, she was more like a sister.
I didn't know that she turned you.
Did I ever tell you the story?
Guess I never asked.
Would you like to ask, or do you just want me to tell you?
Let's not make this a thing.
Okay, yes, we don't. She did turn me. And it was not one of her prouder moments. And it wasn't out of desire, it was out of necessity. I am only a little bit older than you. Truly. In time. But if you can believe, there was a time period in America where people were not allowed to drink legally. And I didn't want to participate in that, and I found myself far too young in a underground establishment. For people like me, people like us at the time, and that was the only safe space. It got busted. I got, and you see she kind of chokes up a little bit at this point. I wasn't going to live in any capacity. I was beaten so badly by the cops that busted the place that I was laying nearly dead on the street. And Priscilla was there that night, and she gave me a second chance. And I didn't ask her to, and she didn't have to, but she told me later that something inside of her told her that I wanted to keep going. And so she let me.
Well, I'm glad she did do that to you. Did you feel that want inside of you when you turned Cora?
I felt the want inside of her. And I'd like to think it's the same thing that Priscilla saw in me. Or felt. Or maybe it was just sheer idiocy at wanting to get back at you.
I'm willing to bet it's at least 25% that.
At least.
Well, to answer your earlier question, I don't know or haven't thought about the person who turned me in many, many, many years. For all I know, she's gone, and I'll never see her again. And probably because of that, I've never really felt a want to turn someone. But lately, I've felt a need. Do you know what I'm talking about? Like, I see you and Cora, and you've given her so much with just you being you. It's an incredible power, and I I don't know. I'm a little apprehensive about it, but perhaps it'll go away.
Apprehensive about your own feeling.
Yeah. Sometimes I just see someone walking down the street, and I think they would make a good vampire.
Do you ever feel like you would want to find the person that turned you?
I've never thought about it, or at least not in a long time. But
Because that kind of sounds like she's still out there.
perhaps she is. It's funny. It was just a fling. I don't even remember her name. Just something that happened. Just some inconsequential night, and now look at me. Kind of funny.
Do you regret it?
No.
Good. She kind of like punches you on the shoulder and sips her hard liquor.
Just also to kind of switch topics a little. I think my kind of new friend group in high school, I think they're all a little apprehensive about the drug use. So I think this year I might kind of keep that a little on the down low. But I don't want you to think I'm not cool. But just want you to know that.
It's not the drugs that make you uncool or cool. It's
What
the
is
fact
it?
that you're a dork. A big fucking dork.
Well, I don't see that in myself, but
And you hear like a bang on the door directly across from you both, and Cora just yells, "Will you guys shut up? I am trying to sleep."
you should come out here. It's a beautiful night. In need. D.
We will look that up. You hear the door like crack open.
And plus, you
Fine.
barely have to sleep anyway. You're a
I know,
vampire.
but sometimes it just feels so good to lay down still. Like I still feel the remnants of it.
Yeah, I understand. Well, thanks for coming on the trip, Cora. It's been fun.
I don't even think I told my parents.
Do your parents hate me?
Yes.
Yeah, that makes sense. Well,
But to be fair, I think they kind of hate me too.
luckily for you, you'll outlive them by quite a distance now.
Wow. What are you drinking, Lilith? Pour me some. And she holds out a glass, and the three of you continue your evening. You don't need to sleep, so you just stay up chatting, listening to more of Lilith's stories over the past almost over 100 years at this point that she's been at it. Just a little bit longer than you, a little bit more worldly than you, and Cora definitely just soaking it all in, ready for her next 100 plus years. And the three of you share a lovely evening on one of your final evenings on your journey, before you zap back to reality at the laugh of your friends that are presently with you right now at this table with this game, and they're laughing and just falling all over each other. And currently Dustin is over the shoulder of Onyx, kind of pointing out things on her character sheet that she could use. No, please. So like it's fine because so what you have so many spells here that are just like not really good for like you.
Anything.
What?
Not good for anything.
No, they're good, but like you have to be. It's not so like okay. So my character, a paladin, can go and like fight and do magic, but like my fighting is kind of in my magic, right? So I use my magic to like enhance my ability. But you have to just like you're kind of like what they call a support character, right? So you have to like make sure that you're using your spells to like. No, it's not. It's like actually pretty like. It's like pretty cool.
Fine, it's fine. I just wish someone had told me like you could rage if you were a different type of character. But I just thought it would be cool to play music, and nobody told me anything otherwise.
Do you want to be a like so? Okay, so there's this thing called a barbarian.
We have had this conversation, Onyx, and I tried to make you a character, and you said, "What? No, I want to choose my own character." And I was like, "I really think you'll like this," and you're like, "No,
well, you were
no,
stereotyping me."
And I was right. Look at what you want to do.
But now you want to be that.
Do you want to switch characters? Are you allowed to do that?
Am I allowed to do that?
You can be a rogue.
I don't know.
You barely have to pay attention to your character sheet.
That's not true. He just doesn't pay attention to his character sheet. You know what? Sure.
And as you slide your character sheets across the table, Onyx, you are laughing because you feel like the last couple weeks, the last couple months, you have really kind of come into a strength. You have kind of felt settled in a way that you haven't felt settled in a long time. And you think back to just the wild chaos that was this summer, not because of anything wild that happened, but at the end of last year, you followed your sister Alaska on a whim across the park into another neighborhood of this town of Keynes, Oregon, and you happened upon a house that Alaska swears was familiar to her, and you let her knock on the door, and you let them let you in, and you let her go in there, and come to find out at the end of the last session, you found your family. And as if out of a trance, this woman that was sitting in front of you recognized you and asked you to come with her. And you did. And you followed her. And when you think back on it now and you try to tell this story, it's wild that this was something that you ever thought was safe to do or good to do. But for some reason, you and Alaska were so intrinsically captivated that you allowed yourself to be taken on this journey. And you got into a car and you drove not very far, but into the city proper. And into a kind of rougher, kind of broken down area, a little bit of a warehouse district. And you sat in this car with this woman, and on bated breath, you and Alaska sit and you wait and you watch this woman take in the surroundings, and she takes a deep breath and she looks at both of you and says, I don't know what has happened to me the past years. I feel like I just woke up. And so I'm sorry if this seems odd, and I'm sorry if this feels out of nowhere, but I want to be here for you now.
Okay.
Your mother, my sister, it feels like she died. And I feel like that's not true. I don't know how to quite explain it, but I remember you all used to live here. And she like points up, and it's now kind of a derelict, broken down building. It has vines and moss growing on the side of it, graffiti, broken windows sprayed. It's clearly like a old foreclosed building. And there were three of you. There was you, she points to Alaska. You're the oldest. Alaska. And then you, and she puts a hand on your shoulder. You're Onyx. I laughed when she told me that. Alaska and Onyx. What a duo.
They're cool names.
They're cool names. They're really cool names. And then Cody. Cute Cody. He was so precious as a baby. And then things didn't go so smoothly.
What do you mean?
Well, Cynthia got pregnant a fourth time. It was a surprise. But they were so excited. They were so happy. And Cody didn't want to be the youngest, and Alaska was so excited. She said 4 is an even number. And it got to be about time. And I remember she started having complications. And so we moved her to our mom's place. Put her on bed rest, you know, the doctor said put her on bed rest. It was easiest to care from her there. And we had everything. We made her so comfortable. We even put out a bed for Derek. And your dad said, thank you so much. This is awesome. Great. He was so excited. And then they took her to the hospital. She was gonna have the baby. And that's really all last we heard from them.
They went.
Like they just disappeared.
You went to the hospital and never came back?
That's all I remember. and we looked and we looked and we searched, and then we just didn't. Like it was wiped from my memory.
Wait, did you like forget about us?
Until you walked in, yeah, I think so.
I think that like, because we all had that moment with Steve where Steve was trying to tell us about his dad and like show us a text or something, and then like forgot it like as he was telling us. We all were kind of had this moment where we were like, weren't we just talking about something? Wasn't something really important? I think I have the kind of glitch that Steve has when he remembers his dad being gone, in kind of a similar way, where I'm like, what do you mean, like, this, like, whole, like, your family or this whole, like, traumatic thing that happened just, like, was gone from your mind. You didn't remember us. And I kind of, like, have that same little mental glitch. And then I'll like kind of shake out of it and ask, do your parents, I guess my grandparents, like, remember?
Mom doesn't remember much of anything these days, unfortunately. Even if she did, I don't know if she'd trust it.
Well, she remembered that we owed her Girl Scout cookies, so
she fucking
there's
loves
that.
Those things.
I don't get it. Like, it like doesn't even make sense in my fucking brain that you and my mom are sisters. Like, my mom is, you know what my mom is, right? Do you know what my mom is?
She's dead, right?
I like look at Alaska and I'm like, we just met her.
Alaska's like,
do we? She's gone. Yeah.
And just, it sounds like you've just, where have you been? Have you guys been okay? Like, are you in the system? Like, how, what, this is wild that this happened to you. Like, and we could have been taking care of you this whole time, but we didn't know where you were. We didn't know, like, you all just disappeared one day.
Yeah. I mean, I didn't remember any of this. But I think for normal reasons, because I was a kid, but maybe not. Maybe also for not normal reasons. I mean, we're just in school at, what is our school?
Angelwood High.
Angelwood High.
Yeah.
I'm gonna be a sophomore.
Okay.
So, like, it's chill, but I don't know what to do with the fact that you know me and my siblings and forgot about us.
Where do you live? Where do you stay? Like, who takes care of you?
I like look at Alaska again and I'm like, can you like help me out a little here?
We stay with my boyfriend. his family. We weren't boyfriends when we started hanging. We live in a guest house at the Lancasters.
I look at her and I'm like, boyfriend? No. You don't have to come out to her yet. Yeah, we live in like a little carriage house. Nice family willing to help us out. It's a small space for 4 of us, but we've done all right.
Wow, this is gonna make a great college essay.
Alaska is dating our kind of adopted brother. It's not weird.
Oh. We don't call him that though. We're not. He doesn't. It's not.
Alaska doesn't. Yeah, but we're just kind of going to school like normal high schoolers.
You guys are so brave.
I just found that out, I guess.
Yeah, no, I'm sorry, I don't mean to rock your world or anything, but I'm just so happy to know that you all are alive and well, and it seems like you've been thriving, and you have a boyfriend. And how are you going to be a senior? Like, are you thinking of college? And she just starts going in on Alaska, excitedly kind of catching up with the last years of this group of people essentially that she thought had been gone from her life forever. And she eventually takes you back to their house and invites you in for dinner, makes a gigantic amount of food. Her husband comes, they have a couple of kids, so like it's whole family affair.
Whoa.
And both you and Alaska find it very overwhelming. Alaska kind of settles into it until they start asking her about her boyfriend, and she looks to you to try to save her, whether you save her or not.
I also have a boyfriend, actually.
What? So tell us everything. Who is he?
I mean, it's chill. His name is Josh. I can like totally beat him up.
Oh, okay. Yes,
feminism. I don't.
Absolutely.
But I can.
Yeah, it's good. Yeah, it's not. And she like playfully punches her husband. She's like, I could beat you two up, right, honey? Yeah, great.
I like roll my eyes.
And you are kind of thrust into this family affair. And she, at the end of the night sees that you guys are getting a little bit overwhelmed. She's well-meaning, despite her excitement. And she says, Can I drop you guys off at home? I don't want you, it's kind of late. I don't want you walking through the park at night. Can I take you back to your carriage house?
No, we love to take a little night walk together. We'll keep each other safe. We'll text you when we...
Yes, yeah. No, please take my number, and I know that you are kind of doing your own thing, and I know this probably feels really crazy to have family suddenly, but here's my number. And she like takes your phone and she puts her number in. And
what's her name again? I forget her name.
I don't know if we ever gave her a name, but we'll call her Carrie.
Carrie,
with like a little heart emoji. And she puts her number in your phone, Onyx, assuming that you'll get it to Alaska as well. Okay, you both be safe. Please come by anytime if you have any needs. I'm happy to help support you. In fact, like I'm willing to support you. I would love to be helpful in any way to the rest of your upbringing. I know you're going to be a sophomore, but I'm so happy. I'm so happy.
Thanks. Yeah, thanks, Aunt Carrie.
Oh, I love the sound of that.
Yeah. Well, talk later, I guess.
Oh, please, yes. Goodbye. And
I
she
think-
like kind of watches you guys all the way to the edge of the park.
Yeah. And then I think like as we turn out of sight, I grab Alaska's arm and I'm like, I got two things to say. One, I think they're like rich and maybe they'll like give us money. And two, we gotta like go break into our parents' old apartment, right? Like there still might be shit there.
100%. I wanted to do that in the car, but I thought it would be weird if I got out and like ran out of the car. And
I
like,
think
then
Carrie
she would have followed
lose
us, and then she
her fucking mind. Like,
and she was kind of like judgy about it, right? She was like, "This is where they used to live, and we brought them to us."
she
Like,
seemed
very
a little scared, like a little scared in a weird way.
Yeah.
But I mean, look, she's really nice. I am lying to so many people about where I live.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna mix it up at some point.
Yeah. Maybe we should find like not the woods to live.
I mean, I guess probably be good for Cody and Juno, but I kind of missed it.
Maybe we can find a place with a yard.
Oh yeah, people love that shit. Let's find a yard.
Let's get a yard.
Okay. Do you think that Aunt Carrie will like buy us a house?
At least rent us one, definitely. If we're like,
Right.
oh,
We gotta start small.
this carriage house doesn't work out anymore, and we need a place to actually live.
These growing children.
Yeah, they need a yard.
Okay. I don't know what the fuck is up with that, but the fact that her memory is wiped and Juno wasn't even born yet, or like maybe Juno is cursed.
That would make sense. She's a menace.
Yeah. She's like kind of cranky all the time.
And like sometimes we'll go days without talking to me.
Ugh.
She's borderline feral, honestly.
Does she think-
Yes, we need a house, I think.
Yeah, get Juno her own room.
And as the two of you kind of walk through the woods, discussing the potential plans and like the light manipulation of Carrie, the rich aunt, in order to get yourself better living conditions and just circumstances generally, you can't help but kind of let your mind wander to this past year of all of this kind of upheaval with your family, their involvement with who this secret entity called Mother is, who killed your friend. You haven't seen them most of the summer. You spend a majority of your summer. Actually, I will say, if this is like towards the beginning of the summer, if you really wanted to, I would say that if you spend your summer hanging out with Carrie, and by the time Vernon and crew get back from their jaunt around Eastern Europe, you could probably have convinced Carrie to rent you a small apartment.
Hell yeah.
Like two bedroom apartment in Angelwood.
Yes.
I would say roll a straight roll 2d6s and tell me what you get.
What?
First roll of
actually on an 8 or higher, or a 9 or higher, you will get a yard.
I was like, an apartment? Oh, no yard.
No yard. Okay, so no yard yet. You couldn't find one in the budget. But you do have now a lovely little 2-bedroom apartment, Cody and Juno in one room, you and Alaska in the other, or whatever configuration you want.
Tiny little porch.
A tiny little porch, yes, with that sometimes maybe you find yourself sleeping out on.
I miss the fresh air.
You miss the fresh air. And you kind of come back to as that has set up your summer and the rest of your time, either exploring and talking out this mystery with Steve, or just letting the summer kind of wash you over as you spend time with Josh, you condition for wrestling, you find this new home, and then you hang out with these friends that you have gotten so close to. And Steve, Onyx, Vernon, Josie, and your friends Scotty and Dustin, you all continue to play Dungeons and Dragons the way that all of us as friends play Dungeons and Dragons. And we're gonna go ahead and take a little bio break here before we hop into the rest of the session. Just a little teaser taster flashback for you before the real drama sets in.
I loved it.
Get a little reminder, but go grab a snack, grab a drink, grab some napkins or paper towels or Kleenexes to wipe away potential tears that might come in the second. And we will be right back. Oh, hey, didn't see you there. We were just about to play a little game.
It's good the second time, too.
Maybe better the second time.
Yeah.
I think so. Yeah, it has time to sit and it's like flavor and stuff.
Yeah.
Anyway, leftovers aside, we're gonna pick right back up where we left off, and that is the four of you having kind of flown through these memories of your summer, specifically these very kind of encompassing and encapsulating memories that have brought you kind of to an appreciation right now of this little life that you have crafted out for yourself.
I like this little.
So you all start doing that at the table, and Steve is pissed. He doesn't get it. He doesn't want to get it. He doesn't have TikTok.
What?
Maybe he does. I don't know.
No, Steve doesn't have TikTok. He's cooler than me.
But
yeah.
The game starts to kind of unravel after Onyx and Vernon switch character sheets. I think you say that, maybe, Steve. Oh, this is unrealistic. Dustin kind of notices that you are feeling a little bummed out despite all your friends being there, and he kind of takes your hand and he kind of squeezes it, and he's like, "Do you guys want to like take a break? Do you want to?"
Yeah, I think we should. Honestly, I think it's good that we're all just having fun being here together. Maybe we should just spend some time together. Are
your parents supposed to be back tonight or tomorrow from their vacation? Steve.
Like early, like late tonight, early tomorrow.
So like late.
Oh yeah, like could be argued
even though
early morning.
We're starting school tomorrow, we don't necessarily need to leave.
Oh, you guys are good to be here whenever. Even when they get here, you guys are good to be.
Scotty like looks around and is like, well, my mom said I have to be home by 10. Is that
everyone
okay?
knows my parents don't give a fuck.
Hey.
Steve like meets Onyx's eyes with that one.
I for sure have to go home.
Yeah, Josie's gonna, for sure. But for those of us who want to stay, we can chill, watch a movie or something. Watch maybe Shrek 2.
Oh, it's my
Everybody looks at Vernon. Again?
I just love the story.
Just maybe one more time before the school year starts, you know?
I mean, by this time, we'll quote it, and everybody in homeroom will be jealous. Are we all in the same homeroom? Do we all have Miss Barnes again?
Yeah, I do.
Okay. Barnes?
Yeah, Barnes.
Barnes?
Yeah.
Okay, good.
Ugh.
Vernon
I
Barnes.
haven't checked.
Ugh.
Okay, well, you can just show up wherever you want to be, I think.
Yeah, what's she gonna do? Kick you out?
She might.
Maybe, but that doesn't mean I will.
She's
be
so
kicked out.
docile.
Hey, I mean,
It makes
worst
me
case
kinda
scenario,
miss-
we just like hypnotize her.
No.
How do you think I got into the homeroom last year?
Oh,
Wait.
okay, so actually, I did want to bring this up. So, I don't know, like, we're about to go back to school. We all know a lot about each other. Like, what are the rules? Obviously, no. Yeah, keep your mouth shut for sure. Everybody in this room knows to keep their mouth shut, right?
Mouth shut.
And everybody in this room does know everything about everything, right?
Yeah.
Like they know
At
everything about like we all know, and including the NPCs. We all know Josie's dead. We all know
Yeah.
Vernon's
Yeah.
a vampire. Cora's a vampire. I'm a witch. Do we all know Onyx is
Duffy's
a
gay.
werewolf? Duffy's you mispronounced dead.
Sorry, I was thinking of. Damn
Dustin.
it! No, Dustin.
Duffy's gay.
Clip
That's
that.
on-
Clip that for sure.
That's on a shirt. That's on a shirt, but with like a skull and crossbones. Duffy's
Duffy's
gay.
Duffy's gay. You wish he was gay.
Yeah.
He unfortunately
Beyond
is.
the grave.
He might be gay.
He
We
might. Who
don't know.
knows? Yeah. We
Who
don't know.
knows?
If given the chance, he could have been gay.
Yeah. Yeah, so Steve says, like, okay, so yeah, we all know to keep our mouths shut, but, like, also, but what about, like, doing things at school? Like, no, right?
I mean, yeah.
It's just like not fair because you guys can like do all these things and then like I don't even know like how am I supposed to know if Vernon is hypnotizing Miss Barnes? I don't, but you all are like
Vernon has promised not to hypnotize us without our permission.
I
I'm
mean,
sorry. Not one of us has ever gone.
Josie,
is
if any one of us has, you're the closest to it, okay?
Yeah.
So.
last time I saw Vernon hypnotize someone, it was incredibly obvious. So I think you'll know.
Yeah, he just kind of stares at you.
Listen,
he kind of does that anyway.
I promise I won't hypnotize any of you, but this is a little hard for me because as a vampire, I am dictated by eons and eons of vampiric history and lore, and we have a certain code that we live by, and I'm not necessarily beholden to my own actions.
Whoa.
Is your code enforced upon you against your will?
No.
Well, then,
Okay,
there's
then
the
shut the
answer.
fuck up.
Do you
Okay.
see any other ancient vampire beings around to enforce the code upon you?
Well, if they are, they're in the shadows. But
Dustin
no, I
kind of like looks around.
Steve like puts a hand on Dustin's like,
We only know 2 vampires, and it's Cora and Vernon.
well, 3.
Well, I don't know her that well, but I'd love to get to know her better.
He's around.
2.
I do want to say, Tori and I have been really close this summer, but I haven't told her anything.
But you what?
I haven't told her anything.
Oh, fuck.
I just like we were hanging out, and like I obviously like I love her, and I trust her, but like I didn't know when to bring it up, and then like I was like, well, she's gonna go away at the end of the summer, so like, what's the point in trying to like explain this? But now I think we're gonna try to stay together, and I just like I don't know how to bring it up, but like obviously just don't assume she knows anything.
Yeah, I mean, that's... My mouth is sealed until you tell me otherwise.
I think it's chill. I haven't told Josh either, and I think there's going to be no consequences to that. So,
Josie, I'm here for you if you want to tell Tori and see how it goes, and then if it's bad, I'll hypnotize
We just
her.
erase her memory. Is that
Yeah.
is that the plan?
oh,
Okay, we can't go and erasing people's memories every time we want
Yeah, it
and
just
need to have a
doesn't
hard
work
conversation.
sometimes.
I lost
Yeah.
half my family for like a decade and a half that way, so
And my mom also like has been. She has moments of being weird, ever since the cemetery that night.
oh.
Oh, really? Interesting.
Yeah, I mean nothing crazy. She's just like it's just weird. I don't know how to describe it other than weird. She's not like trying to hurt anybody.
I'll talk to her.
No, you won't. No. That's not what we're getting at here. And I won't cast any spells on anybody.
And
I won't read any books about any of the things that you guys can do.
and I'll stop
Beat anyone up.
hiding in your rooms invisible.
Ooh.
Are you
Everybody-
doing
You do
that?
that?
I was joke. It's a joke. I was
Can
a
you
joke.
do that though? Because that could come in handy.
You
I,
do have the walls.
I can go through walls. Yeah.
We gotta be using that more.
Can we do that right now though, just so I can get it out of my system because I kind of want to see it.
I put my hand through them.
Jesus Christ!
Wait,
it's
wait.
so cool.
What if we? Okay. No, you guys are gonna think
No, say it. You have to say it now.
My fingers in your head.
You have to, even if it's stupid, you have to.
Josie.
I'm sorry. I need that fan art. Bees, my fingers in your head, Ghost Josie. I need that right now. Oh my god.
I mean, I don't know, like, there's a bunch of corporations that I'm sure kind of suck and, like, wouldn't miss some things. Like, what if we had, like, a heist?
Use our powers for anti-capitalism.
Yeah!
What?
D&D? Life. D&D?
Yeah, that's a stretch.
Life.
Okay, so...
I haven't even got my learner's permit.
Let me ask you this.
How can I have a
Josie,
destiny?
What are they gonna do?
Put us in jail.
Can they?
That's a good
Yeah.
point.
Why-
But here's a thought. If the grown-ups find out that we have like, what are they gonna do with a dead person?
Nothing. They can't do anything to you you don't want them to do. I don't know, like, I've just been thinking
Okay.
about this, guys. Like,
We've been saying that, but also, like, nobody has lost more than Josie. Like, sure, she can't lose her life again, but there are other things.
I
that
will
she-
never make Josie do anything that she doesn't want. All I'm saying is I can cast spells on people. Vernon can hypnotize people. Josie can walk through walls and become invisible. Onyx has really good senses and is really badass.
I can beat people up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know, like, why don't we do anything with it?
Guys, have you ever thought about how we're kind of like a D&D party?
Shut up.
I'm the bard.
Nose comes
That-
down.
That would be so boring.
Yeah, I guess I'm like the warlock or something.
Imagine if you had to roll a dice every time you wanted to, I don't know, hypnotize someone.
That would be
Weird.
inconsistent.
It would take so long. That's
Yeah.
crazy.
It takes so long. Yeah.
Okay, I guess I should just like shut up. I don't know. I just thought it was. I just thought I'd.
Well,
say it.
what's an example of what you're thinking? You're just saying corporations. We go into like, I don't know, some
Bank of America.
Yeah.
yes.
All the
you
like
want-
all the
Oh
money.
my god, that's where my mom
Steal a
thinks
bunch of
when she's
money!
there.
All the
What
people's
if-
money in there is insured. It would only be taken away from Bank of America, not the people.
What would I do?
Be the lookout, of course.
You can't come. You're gonna get in so much
Can you drive?
trouble.
Yeah, I'm not dead or have powers, so if they catch me, I'm going.
Well,
to
then you
jail.
don't have to go. I'm not.
But
I'm sorry.
It's fine.
I just. I don't fine. If we don't want to do the crime, how about we like stop crime and we like get suits and shit?
No.
Yeah,
Getting a suit.
You went from doing crime to being a vigilante really quick.
now you want to be a cop?
I truly don't care either way.
You just want to do something.
I just want to do something. I've been feeling this itch at me recently. I've been feeling like I just think that I need to do it again, and I just can't think of a reason why not to. We still don't know where those fucking things are.
No, I mean, like that, I think, yeah, no, like we should do something.
Okay, wait.
Like we are the, like,
I got the perfect thing for us to do.
Mm-hmm.
You know how I told you that my newly discovered Aunt Carrie showed me where my parents used to live when they were, I don't know, normal city dwellers?
Yeah. It's still weird.
Alaska, and I've been wanting to check it out. It's in kind of a rundown part of town. I'm not sure if anyone lives there or not, but if we could break into the building, see if there's any clues about what happened to my parents before they disappeared.
And then have a big party?
Sure, why not?
After we saying it'd be a place with no adults, you know?
After we like thoroughly scope the place out, yeah.
Of course, yeah, and then prep it. Yeah.
I know exactly where you're talking about, Onyx. I've stood outside there at midnight.
Have you been everywhere?
Recently?
Not recently. I have been everywhere.
Have you been to Madagascar?
In 81 years. It only takes 81 years to go every.
It only takes 80 days. There's a whole movie about it.
I have been to every location.
So Madagascar.
World? Yes.
Okay. Have you been to New Guinea?
Yes.
What's your favorite place if you've been to all of them? Not country, specific place.
Keynes, Oregon.
Oh, God.
Oh. My God. Have you been to the moon? That's a fucking place now, isn't it?
Yes.
No, you have not, Vernon. You would have told us a long time ago if you had been on the moon. Wait.
I've never been.
Is the moon real?
Yes.
I do look at Onyx.
It ruins lives every month.
Yeah.
Did we really go there, Vernon?
Well, I spent 30 years thinking it was a hoax, but I've looked into the facts and I believe that it's not, and we did go there.
I watched a Mythbusters episode. And I trust them implicitly.
I love those guys.
Good facial hair.
Do you guys think that aliens are real?
Oh yeah, 100%. Look at us.
Yeah.
Yeah. I bet I wouldn't be. Scotty's probably an alien.
Shut up. I told you that in confidence. They like laugh.
But yeah, I mean, I want to look into that. I want to look into clues about your parents. I still like, Josie.
Yeah.
Once again, I will never make you do anything that you don't want to do, and I hate bringing it up, especially because you've been so happy. But like, I want to go find that fucking bitch out in the forest.
Yeah.
And if anybody could take her down, it's the four of us.
Yeah.
And I think, yeah, I mean, like, maybe we, I don't know. I know that, like, trying to, like, talk to your parents hasn't worked yet, Onyx, but, like, maybe there is some clue in that apartment that, like, I don't know. Like, they can at least maybe, like, tell us what she is. We've got some sort of, like, Fae witch serial killer capturing people in the fucking woods, and like we haven't heard anything about her like all summer, but like that doesn't mean that she's not still out there.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if my parents chose something. I don't know if something happened to them. all I know is that from what my Aunt Carrie says, at one point they were like a normal human family, and now they are the leaders of a wolf pack with 4 werewolf children who won't fucking talk to me. Not my siblings, my parents. So if there's any chance of finding out what they're doing with her, I think we're gonna have a little bit of leverage, because just trying to have a conversation hasn't exactly worked lately.
Do you think that they can turn back? Like, if we could get them to turn back, could we talk to them?
I mean, I don't, maybe there's been enough times where I feel like they've wanted to really yell at me and they haven't been able to communicate with me when I'm in human form until I transform, that I feel like they would have if they could have. But that's not to say that, like, if there isn't some like crazy curse put on them, that we could reverse it. But I don't think it's within their
What
will.
if we just like knock
At least they
them
haven't shared that with me.
unconscious?
What if what?
What if we just like knock them unconscious, like in the movies? Like, if you get knocked unconscious or if you die, you like go back to human form. Is that the way it works?
I don't know. I think I would be surprised if it was that easy to.
Can you sleep in wolf form?
Yeah,
Oh, okay.
they do all the time. I mean, yeah.
But that isn't a bad idea. Like, if it is a curse, in theory, if it is a curse, if the host is no longer viable.
Yeah, I just don't know if they cursed themselves or if something else did something to them. Like, if they chose this life, doesn't make sense to me.
Sounds like we gotta go break into this apartment.
Hell yeah.
Hell yeah.
Scotty nervously goes, hell yeah.
I
As
go,
long
yeah,
as it's-
Scotty, and then I slap them on the back.
Wow. Thanks.
What were you gonna
Well-
say, Josie? Oh.
Well, I was just gonna say, yeah, as long as it like is in the service of like something good, I think that like, yeah, I'm willing to, and I think that like we all should be.
Yeah, of course. Also, I want one of us to win prom king and or queen.
As sophomores?
Yeah.
We're not even part of the marching band. How the hell do you expect us to be?
The marching band is so popular. Oh my
Sorry, I forgot that we
God.
were. So I meant fall dance.
Well, the obvious candidate is me.
Oh.
I agree.
Why are you the obvious candidate?
For the man.
Dustin, like,
Because all the cocaine. Duh.
I'm unnaturally beautiful.
It is a little
You're not better looking than Dustin.
I'm just
Dustin,
staring
like,
at
looks
Steve.
at you, like, aghast, kind of, like, what the fuck are you talking about? And then
And
is like,
I
"Oh,
give a very half-hearted shrug.
Yeah. Yeah. He, like, hits you on the shoulder. That's
And
right.
To me,
Lest we forget,
right.
I am the host of one of the most popular podcasts in this region of the world.
Who would be your fall dance queen?
Probably the co-host. I had to imagine, right?
I think Onyx being fall dance queen would be great.
Ew.
I guess actually it's fall dance prince and princess, and then
I would
prom
have,
king.
and I would have to go with Vernon.
No, fall dance
I don't-
court. What is it?
I don't think that would work.
I think
sorry, Onyx,
you're
but I don't
making
think
this
that
up.
would work.
I'm trying to remember what my
in
high
my
school
life.
Are we
specifically
having a
is.
fall dance with all of us and we pick who's on the court?
No, obviously,
Dang it,
like it
Vernon
goes at
should-
Angelwood High every year. In fall dance, there's a fall dance court, which is basically the
Yeah.
same thing as prom king and queen.
But the sophomores can only be the prince and princess.
Yes.
I would be the
juniors and the
prince,
seniors get to
and
be
the-
the king or queen.
The princess would be someone from a clique or a group in the school that we need to infiltrate.
Do we need to infiltrate anybody?
We have to keep our options open.
That could be a good use of your powers.
Are you gonna be friends with
scale.
Kaylee and Kaylee or whatever?
Ew, no! Can we not be friends with them, please?
Are
Just
they even
because
coming
someone's
back
my
this year?
princess doesn't
They
mean it's my
hated us.
friend.
You just want a princess.
What about
Listen.
Becca?
He was just in Eastern Europe. Of course he wants
I
to
know,
princess.
he's Romanian is showing.
Yeah, how's Becca these days?
Yeah, how is Becca?
I don't know.
None
I
of you-
mean, maybe she would want to be princess. I don't
She
know.
hasn't
Maybe
been
I'll ask
reaching.
her.
She hasn't reached out to you at all.
No.
Dottie, have you talked to Becca?
Oh. Actually.
She hasn't really answered any of my messages either.
That
Okay, that makes me feel better.
No, well, hold on. Has she answered any like she's not missing, right?
No,
I think we would have heard.
I saw her post on Instagram the other
Yeah,
day.
yeah.
Yeah, but she's a prime target for something if she's isolated herself. I don't like that. You all need to. I don't know. I hardly know Becca, but
I've tried. I put the ball in her court.
I'll talk to her.
who is she friends with these days? Is she friends with those girls?
No, she said like she wasn't really into their vibe. Last I talked to her. I know she went on vacation with her parents, but I haven't really talked to her since then. Maybe she's in our homeroom.
Yeah, hopefully.
But we've all been texting her, right? We've all been texting her. This is Scotty saying this. We've all been texting her, and
I only texted her once, just kind of a check-in. It's not like I was.
well, that makes sense because you're her
Really?
ex-boyfriend.
Yeah, I guess we are exes.
How many exes
do you?
Do you have?
My first girlfriend, she'd be
Oh God. Okay.
95 by now.
Jesus.
Whoa, she was older than you. I
don't
just
want-
tell if it's creepy or not.
We can't get into this because I also don't know if it's creepy or not. 'Cause
I don't know if I'm problematic.
I'm 14.
Is it
Remember.
creepy that you were with Becca?
No?
But you're.
Yeah, age gap relationships are like kind of weird.
It's not.
I
an
mean,
age
they're
gap.
not that weird. I don't.
Listen. Okay.
You're
Eighty-
dating a
81?
man
Tori's
70
not 18
years your
yet.
senior?
There. Okay. We have to have some ground rules about my background and my story. I am 81 years old, but I have the physical body of a 14-year-old, and from here on out, it's no longer awkward if I am dating another 14-year-old.
Okay, so then what happens when
Because
they're?
your brain is kind of still 14 too.
But what happens when they're no longer 14?
What if it's weird for
I
them?
cordially break things off with them.
So you can never have a lasting relationship?
Unless he turns them.
I mean, that's kind of the issue with being immortal, right? Vernon, we're gonna miss
You and Cora should be together.
Yeah, you and Cora should definitely.
Perfect.
You
Listen,
guys, you guys
Have
like
you
each
tried
other.
since she turned?
Cora and I have a mentor-mentee relationship.
Oh
Right?
my
Hey,
god.
Hey
that
Vernon.
is-
Hey Vernon. Let's make a promise. In 400 years, you haven't found anybody. You and I can get.
Oh, wait,
Pact.
no, you're dating Tori.
Okay,
Wait,
I'll
no,
have-
I want to be immortal.
I can make you immortal right now.
Okay.
No, guys.
What the fuck?
I sit next to Steve.
What the fuck?
Do
no.
it.
No,
Do it. I dare you.
No, Steve.
Steve, this is
And
no-
Dustin is saying Steve, like he is actually kind of scared based
Does
on
anybody-
the behaviors that you have exhibited this summer. Like that he's kind of followed you on adventures. You have pushed the envelope a little bit this summer, and you've never done anything truly, truly dangerous or that would ever put harm to him, but he notices it in the way that you kiss him a little more. He notices it the way that you run and when you're talking to people, you're asserting yourself, like all of these little ways that he's noticed that you're a little bit more headstrong. And he, for a moment, kind of puts his hand on your arm and squeezes it and is like, Dustin, stop. Steve, stop.
I look at him and I say, he's not going to do it. It's fine. He's not going to do it. He's not going to do it.
I rub my finger down your neck.
Ooh. Does anybody else think this is kind of hot?
No.
I will not. I'm not going to do this, Steve. I'm not going to do this to any of you. I've never done this. I'm not even sure how it's going to work. So.
And you hear in a voice in your head, Vernon, as this happens, you hear Lilith's voice saying, "Well, do you want to?"
I don't think it'll hurt, though, if it's any consequence, Steve.
All right, so what are we doing for the rest of the night?
Shrek 2. Donkey.
All right, let's do it.
Donkey.
Donkey.
I go and grab my copy of Shrek 2 that is in its display case. Its display case.
DVD?
No, like the display case on the mantle that has the movie Shrek 2 in it, because
it's that good.
It's a shrine to Shrek 2.
Yes.
You run upstairs, Steve.
Yeah.
And as you're going to the mantle to grab the enshrined copy of Shrek 2, you see a shadow pass through out of your like bottom floor apartment window, like out towards the back, like into the yard area.
I would quickly go check it out.
By yourself?
Yeah.
Illuminated in the overhead light. You know how like it's not like a street lamp, but some backyards and cities have kind of like a overhead light, like a floodlight almost.
Yeah.
You see the outline of what kind of looks like Ronnie.
What do you mean? What do you mean?
Just, you don't know if your head is playing tricks with you, but like as you're kind of passing, you can't tell if it's a glare on the window or if there's actually a person standing there, but she's got a beanie, she's got a jacket. It feels like Ronnie is standing out in your yard.
I slowly step closer. Ronnie? Ronnie?
Steve, are you good? And Scotty's voice comes from behind you.
Turn, I see Scotty. I turn back.
Nothing there.
Yeah. I thought I saw a coyote.
A coyote?
Yeah.
Fuck.
Oh.
Where?
In the trash over there, but
Oh my god.
should
we call someone? Do we call animal control? What, like?
Oh, there's coyotes everywhere in this fucking city.
Jesus. Ugh. I thought they were only out in the cemetery.
Yeah. Hey, have you really not heard from Becca at all?
I mean, not like in a real way. Just
hope she's
like
there.
I mean, do you want me to text her right now and tell her to come over or something?
No, I mean, like I said, I put the ball in her court. I think the worst thing that I can do is push her. I just miss our group.
Yeah.
Doesn't feel complete without her.
They like put their hand on your shoulder and they're like, you gotta take it easy on yourself, man. People come back if they want to come back, but it's not on you.
Yeah, but that's the thing. It literally is, wasn't for everything I did, she'd still be
But you apologized and
talking about her. Don't try to tell me I'm wrong. I'm so sick. I got her killed.
No, you didn't.
Gotti, yes, I did.
Do you really believe that?
I know it.
How do you know it? Tell me the concrete evidence that you know.
Why were we
It
out
feels
there
good to
that
blame
night?
yourself.
Why were we
It
out
feels
there
good
that
to blame
night?
yourself. Why were you out where that night?
Night we went to the cemetery. The night all of this began.
You were out there because y'all wanted to do.
Because I said we should go out there.
And
then we went
everybody
into
else
the woods,
agreed.
and then we went into the woods and I was the one that wanted to show my magic. And then it's when I showed my magic that everything went down. That's when Ronnie got separated from us. That's when they became aware of us. Whoever they are, they wouldn't have been aware of us. They wouldn't have known who we were if we weren't out there.
I think anybody who went out there would have been targeted. I don't think it was your magic.
Yeah, you just don't get it.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm sorry, you're right. Are you staying? Are you heading out?
Zach, roll to shut someone down with that.
Okay. Get a 6, I fail.
Scotty, kind of lets you have that, but puts a hand on your shoulder again and looks at you and just it's a sense of pity when you look at their eyes. It's a pity, but it's not a pity of like sorry, it's a pity of anger. And they look at you and they're like, you gotta stop being so hard on yourself, dude. Because it's just gonna eat you up inside and you're gonna push everybody away. And then everything that you think is going to happen, that your anxiety is telling you is gonna happen, is gonna happen. And it's actually gonna be because of you. So don't become a self-fulfilling prophecy. And they squeeze your shoulder and kind of like playfully like, and they're like, yeah, I gotta go though. And my mom said I gotta be home by 10.
Alright, safe.
I love you.
Yeah, I love you too, of course.
And our group is still here.
Yeah. We'll keep it that way.
bye.
Dave, seriously, text me to go.
Yeah, I'll text the group.
And as Scotty heads off, I get out my phone and I text Vernon and I say, "Come outside."
I immediately step out of the shadows.
Ah, Vernon! What the fuck, dude? What did we say
here.
about this? How long?
I didn't hear anything.
What did you hear?
Nothing.
Vernon.
I heard you say you love each other.
Not in that way.
I know.
Why don't you want to do it?
You see, Steve, I want to do it so badly. But that's why I don't want to do it.
Why not, though? Why is it bad to give in?
Because I have never done it. I don't 100% know what will happen. And it's a lot of responsibility and power that I need to be careful.
I want to try to do something.
Oh my god.
I want to try and hex Vernon.
Okay. To do what?
We'll see if I'm successful or not, and then I'll tell you.
Oh my god, Zach, bringing the chaos.
I'm keeping it feral, baby. Okay.
I'm so nervous.
So I don't have anything of Vernon's. Can I assume that our conditions have gone away? The ones that
Yeah,
Vernon
we're
and I
gonna
had with each other?
start over. Yeah, the whole summer would have been dedicated to y'all. Because what were your conditions? It was like
I was uncertain.
Uncertain. Yeah. Yeah, I think Vernon has proven himself to be
For sure.
You know, your friend, and
So I'm just gonna roll a dark 2 on this.
Oh my god, 2 fails out the gate.
That is my 5th experience point, though.
Do you
which
get,
means I now level up to level 3.
Okay.
I won't decide what
Do you
to
know?
do just
Okay.
yet, just
Yeah,
because
don't worry
I want
about
to
it.
see what happens here. So it just flat out fails. It doesn't say what happens below 7. But
I would. Oh, go ahead.
well, I was just going to tell you, the one I was choosing was illusions, and it says that you can pick one. Snakes and bugs, demonic visages, false prophecies, non-existent subtext. The hex sees that thing everywhere, and you have no control over the exact images or manifestations. And I was gonna pick either false prophecies or non-existent subtext, and try to like make Vernon think that he's seeing some kind of like image or feeling or something that would make him think like, oh, Steve is the one. Steve is the one I'm supposed to turn, like that kind of thing. And so that's the hex that I try, but I fail. So yeah.
I kind of want to leave this up to Vernon.
Yeah,
As
please.
to what he sees, because you're 80 plus years old, and you know what it is like to get into people's minds. So you see Steve very clearly go to... You've seen him cast a hex before, you know.
My eyes kind of go black.
Yeah. What's your response?
I think I see Steve hexing in these shadows, and I have a vision of Steve the Immortal, and I have a pang, a sense of regrets as I see Steve outlive his mom and Dustin and everyone that he's around, and I can't do that to him. I just put a hand on your shoulder. Steve, I'm sorry. I'm not ready, and you're not ready.
He's like he kind of like smiles, and for a second he's like smiling with these purely dark eyes.
Ugh.
And there's something that's very eerie about that, but then they kind of fade away, and you just see Steve's face there smiling, and he says, I'm just never gonna be as good at you at that. I had to try. I had to try.
Yeah.
To be honest, this is probably for the best. Honestly, with you more than anybody, Vernon, I feel like I can be honest. I just feel like we have so much, and I'm itching to use it. It's been building up in me over the summer because I haven't been using my magic, and I don't know what to do with it.
Well, I think we did just recently make a pact not to use the spells on each other.
Yeah.
And you did break that immediately. But I get it.
I'm really sorry, Vernon.
It's okay.
I honestly kind of thought that you would think it was funny. That was stupid of me to do. I don't. And you see that Steve kind of like, there are these like two different sides of Steve, and like lately for sure this side that is like power hungry and dark has been kind of driving him. But that good old Steve does definitely exist and is probably still who he is at the core of his being. And you see he kind of like, and it's almost as if this like the glitchiness and the weirdness that has been happening is like it's making there's two Steves that are happening because, just to bring it into real life for a second, I know that I'm being so deep about a game, I apologize, but I love this. I think it's so cool. I think that I, Zach Tabor, am who I am, and am as empathetic and as I am, and as like emotionally caring as I am because of what I went through with my dad, and because of the trauma that was. And I think that Steve was the same way. Mm-hmm. He went through that trauma, and a trauma like that, it brings out perspective in you, and it brings out empathy. And I think right now what's happening with Steve is that there's two different realities of himself that are clashing within each other. There's the good old Steve that we know and love, that is the Steve who went through this trauma and therefore learned more so about his emotions at a younger age, and how to comfort and how to care and how to be empathetic. And then there's the Steve whose dad never died and his life is pretty good, and now he has all these really cool powers and he kind of wants more of it, and he's 15 years old and he's hormonal and I think that those two Steves are constantly at war with each other. And lately, this new reality Steve, this power hungry Steve, is definitely the one who's been overpowering everything. But in this moment, the core Steve kind of shows, and he says, actually, that was really stupid, Vernon. I'm really sorry. I hope that doesn't make anything weird between us. It was a joke, but it was a bad joke.
It's okay. Steve, I'm not mad, but you should know that unless you're a tiny cat wearing boots, wielding a sword, I'm not gonna find it funny.
Heard, man. Heard.
And it's not because I don't think you're funny. I just find it hard to laugh. That's just me.
Yeah. Okay.
I won't tell anyone that you tried to hex me. But I want you to know that I also feel a power and an urge. But I think you need to understand the context of what we're doing here with our friends. It's not worth it. At least right now. I'm not saying it won't ever be worth it to cast a hex on someone.
Yeah. Yeah, of course.
Or to feed on a friend's neck.
Gulp. Yeah.
Well, I have no curfew because I have no parents, so I think I'm just gonna stay and watch Shrek 2. If that's okay.
Yeah, sure. See you in there.
Right. I leave.
And I think as I go back inside, I like stay outside for just a moment. And like, there's like an alleyway near my house, and I'm like, I kind of like kick a trash can, and
Yeah.
I'm just kind of like angry, and poor Steve starts to fade away a little bit again, and now this new Steve coming back, the Steve who's just like, fuck, everyone's telling me no, like everyone's saying this is something that can't happen, this is the power I can't have.
Yeah.
And I think that he feels a pull to like reach into this magic that he has. And it has really been building up. And I think that he's kind of like pacing back and forth, and he's like angry. And then it takes him a minute to realize that he's about 5 feet off the ground as he's pacing back and forth. And there's these like shadows kind of surrounding him. And he like looks down, and he like panics, and he just like falls to the ground. Like, whoa! And I think that I'm going to take the Limitless move from the ghost skin.
Yeah.
What kind of flavor it is, like this witch magic, I've kind of unlocked this new thing that I can do.
Nice.
Yeah, so that's and then I kind of like freak out, and my heart starts racing, and I'm just like, okay, I need to go inside. And I just like go inside. Yeah.
I need to be with my friends.
Yeah.
Yeah. So before all of that happens, or like during all of that happening, Vernon, you go back down with Shrek 2, and Dustin, Onyx, and Josie are still all hanging out in the basement. And Dustin stands up and is like, does anybody want popcorn? Do we want snacks? I'll go upstairs and grab some stuff.
Yeah, I want snacks.
Yeah, he like will walk up and start making popcorn.
Well, I wish I could eat popcorn.
Yeah, that sucks.
I can't eat it.
Oh.
Just tastes like ash to me.
Ugh.
Oh well. Have we got to the good part yet?
Yeah, the movie started. It's all a good part.
Okay, good.
Dustin, you guys don't see this, but he kind of like looks out to see if he can see where Steve went. kind of takes a deep breath and lets his shoulders drop. Looks a little perplexed and pensive in the face. And then hears the movie downstairs begin, and hurries to gather the snacks and goes back downstairs around the same time you find that you make your way in. You catch him kind of going down the stairs, Steve, and he goes, "Hey, where? Are you good? Are you?"
Yeah, no, really good, actually. Yeah.
Really nice.
Yeah. Hey, about earlier, you know that you're amazing, right?
Yeah.
Hey, cool.
Oh, because I don't have.
Yeah, but
a power.
I know, but you were saying that, but like you do have a power.
And I'm sure you're going to tell me what it is that's my power.
Yeah, I mean, you're one of the smartest, most empathetic people I've ever met. I have never met someone who can anchor me the way that you do and trust me. It's not easy to do.
Listen, you can't go saying shit like that to me. Our friends are downstairs, and now all I want to do is go upstairs and kiss you a lot.
I love you.
I love you. But if we don't go watch Shark 2 with Vernon, he's gonna fucking lose his shit.
Yeah, go ahead and go down there. I promise you, I'm not gonna be much longer. I have a surprise for everybody.
God, a Steve surprise, okay.
Steve
and
surprise.
he like makes a like show of walking down the stairs. Oh, like it's absolutely normal that everything's fine.
Yeah.
Where do you go?
I will tell you in a minute.
Okay. So Dustin comes back downstairs with snacks. He passes out a couple of bevies to each of you. He picks the least flavored one to give to you, Vernon, probably a plain LaCroix. Just so you don't feel left out with your ash-stricken taste buds. And y'all start watching the movie. He kind of looks behind himself every now and then just to see what the Steve surprise is going to be. But yeah.
I say I love this part every 5 minutes. I love this part.
You're like, do you like mouth along with it?
Yeah.
Oh
Fairy
my God.
godmother.
Yeah.
Fiona's about to turn into a human. I love this part.
Okay, so when she turns into a human, like, she's beautiful as a human, right? But like, as an ogre, it feels right.
She's even more beautiful as a
Yeah. Yeah, I always
hot as an ogre.
Yeah, and she's like
definitely
cooler
hot.
when she's an ogre because she's not like freaked out, right? You know, she's not like always worried about like turning into an ogre. It's like her ogre is her natural state, and she like wants to embody that.
God, that's so smart.
Thank you. I've watched this movie 17 times this summer because Vernon doesn't have parents.
Thank you. This movie just hits me on every level. Oh, Donkey's about to turn into a stallion.
Which is, again, another allegory. He wants to be something. It's not his permanent state. He needs to love what he is, you know?
I feel that.
The soundtrack is so good, though.
Yeah.
I saw this in theaters.
Wow, you
What?
are old.
God. Okay, you know what movie I've been meaning to ask you about? And sorry, Josie, no offense, but so my mom loved the movie Casper when it came out, and she was in love with the guy who was the ghost. Did you see that movie? Are you familiar? She did make me watch it once. I don't get it.
Jasper's friendly, so that tracks to Josie at least.
Josie the Friendly Ghost.
The dad's kind of cute in that movie. Not gonna lie.
The dad?
The dad, yeah.
Oh, I didn't even pay attention to that. Oh god, now I'm gonna have to watch it again. Oh, my mom's gonna love this.
I love this part.
Steve, what's the surprise?
While they're all sitting there watching, I kind of like stand up there and I'm like, okay, this will be funny, this will be funny, this will be good. And because they're in the basement, right?
Yeah.
And so I kind of like stand, I put myself in my house where I think I need to be, and I like focus on what I just did. And while they're all sitting there watching the movie, out from behind the TV, through the TV screen, I step out, like through the wall and through the TV screen, which is a part of this limitless skin. Except narratively, like I said, I think like what you all see is like Steve is like smiling, and like I think that he genuinely is like, he is like, this is aha surprise, like
Yeah,
isn't this
yeah.
funny, isn't this crazy, like look what I can do. But the image of it is like his skin is slightly paler. You can see like dark veins in place, and his eyes are like completely black, and he's like smiling. And he just comes out and goes, surprise!
Steve, what the fuck?
Can you move out of the way of the movie?
Dustin like screams bloody murder. Absolutely like freaks out.
I think I like go up to Steve and I like grab your hands and I like really squeeze your hands and I'm like, Steve.
And I'm like
Come
not
back.
ready for this response, and I
Steve.
like I think his eyes like fade away, and his color returns, and he's like, what? I'm sorry. I just
Okay.
I didn't mean to scare you guys. I'm
What?
sorry.
It's fine. It's okay. It just
What happened? I just walked through I guess I walked through the wall, but why are you so worried?
well, I didn't know you could do that. I don't think any of us knew you could do that. So
I didn't know I could do that. I just found
You looked
out.
Fucking scary. You looked like from a horror movie.
I looked scary?
Yeah,
Steve,
you were like
when you passed.
What?
Like
Your eyes.
and you're like,
it's just a little spooky.
you look like a jump scare.
Yeah,
Oh.
coming through the TV, like your face was Shrek's face for a second, and then
Yeah,
Maybe
I
that's what
thought
it
it would be
was.
funny. I'm really sorry.
It's okay. But Steve, I like really squeeze your hands. I'm like, Steve, I need you to stick with us. We got your back, okay? We're gonna start
Yeah.
our sophomore year tomorrow.
Yeah, sorry. Yeah.
It's gonna be chill.
Yeah.
We're gonna stick together.
Yeah. Sorry.
You alright, dude?
Yeah, no, I'm fine. I just kind of feel bad, I guess.
No. It's fine. Come watch the other Shrek with us.
Yeah, no, for sure.
Vernon loves this part.
He
Oh,
comes
the Muffin Man.
he comes over and he sits next to Dustin, and he like carefully puts a hand on Dustin's thigh. I'm really sorry, I didn't mean to scare you.
No, it's okay. It's okay.
hey, it's totally not because of this happening, but I do have to go home.
Oh, okay.
And I like go around and like give everybody hugs, and
Yeah.
as I give Steve a hug, I'm like, it's pretty cool though, right?
Yeah, it's awesome. That's guy. I can't wait to talk to you about it. And I do think like narratively, what's happened here is that like, because he's been itching to use his magic so much, and like because that's been like boiling up in him, I think like we had just had the conversation where he was like clearly showing some like not necessarily jealousy, because it's not negative, but like he was talking about Josie and how she can walk through walls and fly, and he was talking about how cool that was. And I think like what happened is like subconsciously this magic within him like manifested his ability to do that. And so yeah, he like hugs her and he's like, yeah, we gotta talk, okay? So be careful, all right? Text us all when you get home.
All right, yeah, bye. And I just walk through the wall.
See? That was much cooler than what I did. Sorry.
You check your phone, Steve, and you do see everybody who is in the group text, which is all of you, would see that Scotty sent a text that they got home safe. So just so you know, no debauchery there.
Good. I look up at everybody and I say, oh, Scotty doesn't know.
Scotty doesn't know. Dun, 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 dun. Josie leaves. The Shrek 2 comes to an end. Vernon, whether tears are falling or not, another prolific moment in your life has passed. Onyx, Steve, Vernon, you are the...
I think I've not let go of Onyx's hand. Like it's very platonic. Like I think that
I will say Dustin did have to leave as well.
Yeah.
At some point, so he did a very nonchalant like kiss you on the cheek.
Yeah.
He's like, "Good luck tomorrow. See you. Text me."
Yeah. So it's just the three of us.
It's just the three of you.
I really am sorry about being weird earlier.
It's okay, Steve. It's really fine. I don't
think it is though. Like Onyx, Vernon's not gonna tell you because he's a good friend, but I tried to hex him outside.
Fuck.
I wasn't gonna hurt him or anything. I was trying to make him see that I was some important person and that maybe he was supposed to turn me. I don't even want to be turned. Like now that I've had longer than 20 seconds to think about it, like that's not something that I want. Something's going on with me. Throughout the day, I feel weird at times, and like I don't know, I really like this magic and I like what it's doing and I want it more, but it's also kind of like scaring me. But then when I like avoid it and like don't think about it and like push it away, then it kind of comes out in these like fits, and it makes me do stuff that's like kind of not cool. And I don't know, I'm just confiding in you guys because I'm a little afraid. Both of you are the only other people that I know who have sides of yourselves that are different, competing with the other side of yourself. Just need some advice.
I mean, I certainly know what it's like to have that part of you kind of overtake you against your will. And I don't know, I fucking hate feeling out of control like that. It sucks. Usually because, I don't know, one of my parents, sometimes Alaska's, like really pushed me to the limit, but I don't know. It's freaky to think that you're not as strong as you think you are. That it's stronger than you are.
And Steve, I'm sorry to say this, but us three will never have normal lives. And moments like tonight's with our game and our movie are nice peeks into being just another kid in school, but we're not ultimately, and that sucks for a lot of reasons. But at least for me, as soon as I came to terms with that was when I was better able to handle what I am.
Thank you both. That helps.
I think there's a lot of reasons, and there's going to be many opportunities ahead to use our powers for good or whatever the hell. But I don't want you to go out looking for a fight because I don't want my friend Steve to get hurt.
Who's this Steve? He seems pretty chill.
He's the best.
That's you.
It's a joke, Vernon. Sorry, I forgot to put on my cat suit. Offensive accent.
It is offensive, but
It would be offensive if I were to do it. It's not offensive when he does it.
Oh my god. Okay.
Is it
Bedtime,
Is it offensive
boys.
if a cat does it? Are you crashing here, both of you? You can. You know you can.
Sure.
I think I'm gonna go for a walk.
Who are you gonna go stare at?
Probably Robbie tonight.
Yeah. Just don't. Please. That night that you looked horrible the next day. He was so afraid. So just don't get caught. So,
Yeah.
Be normal.
yeah, be normal. Normal as you can be.
Yeah. There's a loose window in the back, and sometimes I just go in there.
It's so weird, Vernon.
Everything I learned about you, I learned against my will.
Actually, not Robbie, not tonight, but it's new school year, so maybe I'll go.
Maybe we should check out Mrs. Barnes.
Maybe I'll see what Miss Barnes is up to tonight.
Oh, hell yeah.
Yeah.
Not in a weird way, but like, check out. Go
It's
out.
never in a weird
Onyx.
way. I just want to know exactly where she lives in her schedule and when she leaves and comes and goes, and
We don't need to know
who
the
she talks to.
details. We don't need to know.
Normal shit. Normal
Yeah.
shit.
So strange, dude. I'm really glad you're on our side.
Yeah, thank God.
Me too.
You know, I'll know if you're ever in my room.
No, you won't. All right.
Hey,
see
we need to have a podcast meeting soon. So let's chat tomorrow.
We should get the hacker on the podcast.
Oh my God.
Yeah, now that he's out of rehab.
Do you think he would?
Yeah.
He would totally do an episode.
But what are
Isn't
you
he
gonna
in the
give
marching
him?
Band?
But what are you gonna give him? Because you can't give him blue spirits anymore.
I mean, we can.
He just got out of rehab.
No, I don't know.
I'll talk to him.
Okay. All right, bye, Vernon.
Bye.
Is it cool if I sleep on the couch?
Please, yeah. And then I think I like to think, Jen, that Onyx and Steve, like once Vernon leaves, have like a classic sleepover. Just like the two of them, just like start doing inside jokes and like
Yapping.
just like laughing and giggling until it hurts, and like are trying to be quiet when they hear his parents come home and stuff like
Yeah,
that. Just like
yeah.
classic sleepover experience.
Yeah, hardly sleep.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah, love it.
Me too.
Vernon, you leave the two cuties and their little sleepover giggles and walk to Miss Barnes. Do you have any idea where she lives or
I've definitely looked up her address in the like school directory if it's there.
you're a freak? So you walk to the address that you remember seeing on the directory. It's a very quiet part of town, a little bit on the outskirts, almost even like so out of the way. Angelwood is the last stop on the Green Line, but even farther than that is starts to be the suburbs, the little rural pockets of this Pacific Northwest area, and so you're getting, a little bit in the outskirts of the city, and you find your way to that address, and there's a lot of room between houses here. They're not, one by one. There's, land to these homes, and you get to the address and you see that the house that is marked under this address, that sits under this address, is very dark inside. The grass is overgrown. There's not a lot of upkeep that has been done to this home.
My senses are tingling. I try to see if I can find a way inside.
Okay. What do you try first?
Back door.
Back door. Okay. How did we do this with Ken? Did we do I think did we just do like a straight up roll? I feel like I made you.
Was it for to break in or was it for to sneak?
It was to sneak, but
Okay,
like
'cause I was gonna
remember
say, the door was unlocked at Ken's.
the door was unlocked, but remember when I had you do, because you were like trying to figure out how to like be quiet and also hypnotize him. You had a move, didn't you?
Well, I have a hypnotic move, but maybe keep your cool.
I think keep your cool makes sense for sneaking.
I would say if you're trying the back door though, since it's a physical situation, I'm gonna say go ahead and we won't have you roll to lash out physically, but roll with your volatile, and so right. 2d6 plus your volatile. We're making up rules now in sophomore year.
9.
Okay.
Partial succeed.
So with that, I will say that the door is unlocked. But when you open it, there was something in front of it that fell and caused a loud clash as you walked in.
Okay, I will not quite go inside, but like sneak away and just wait 10 minutes to see if anyone like comes out or investigates, and if not, I'll go back inside.
As far as you know, you don't see any movement or shadow or anything.
Okay, I go inside and see if I can find sign of life.
There is nothing here. You walk around. It's a pretty modest one-story house. It looks like it's been empty for years. It's a thick layer of dust in the parts that you can see, but it is so pitch black out here because it's, so far away that thank God you're used to the evening and the night hours, because otherwise a normal person probably wouldn't be able to make heads or tails of anything.
Once I realize no one's there, I just kind of sit against one of the walls and stay there for the rest of the night.
Okay.
I bet after this long, you're so good at just zoning it.
Oh man,
you know
meditation
what I mean? Like,
is
you have to
stellar.
Yeah.
Josie, you make it home safe. The anticipation of the night and into tomorrow at your first day of sophomore year, working to cultivate a continual relationship with someone that you really like, getting to stay in Angelwood for at least one more year. You'll see what happens when you get there. Vernon, you sitting alone in this derelict abandoned house. Steve and Onyx falling asleep laughing to the dulcet sounds of Shrek 3, potentially.
just the Shrek 2 menu on repeat.
The Shrek 2 menu on repeat. Because in this world, you can't even stream Shrek 2.
Yeah.
And as
body.
you all... somebody. As you all fall asleep on this, the night before the beginning of your sophomore year at Angelwood High, that is where we're going to end tonight's session.
Feels so
Join
good to
us.
be back.
I know it feels good to hang out. You guys have a sense of each other. It's so fun to just jump in and not have to like learn about anything. But thank you everybody for tuning in. We are off to the races with this sophomore year. Just a little soft session before we get into what could potentially be brewing under the surface. But join us for all things CharmedPersons next week. Follow us on social medias, subscribe to us on Twitch. We're out here doing things and like having a really good time with it, so it could be worth your while.
Do it.
Thank you all, Monsterhearts players, for being brave and trusting me and each other. Love you all very much, and we will see you in 2 Thursdays. Peace.